The paradox we are about to explore is called the paradox of the misdirection. Imagine a magician not on a bustling stage, but inside your very mind. Every day your attention is deftly pulled and guided, not by cloaks or rabbits, but by invisible hands, algorithms, headlines, habits, even the restless churn of your own thoughts. This invisible magician shapes your truth by choosing where your gaze settles. What you notice blooms vivid and real, while what you ignore quietly dissolves into shadows. The paradox asks us to consider how much of what we believe comes not from reality itself, but from where we have unwittingly placed our focus. In this silent dance of attention, truth is a flickering spotlight, bold but incomplete. Attention is a delicate and scarce resource, a lantern lighting just a sliver of infinite darkness. In focusing on one thing, all else fades like echoes slipping away down a narrow corridor. This is not deception of falsehood, but a natural law of focus, the essential gift and loss woven together in every decision to look. Magicians manipulate this truth, not by hiding the coin, but by inviting your eyes toward their empty hand, a subtle game of shadows and light. In daily life, this misdirection happens everywhere. In the stories we tell, in the news we consume, in the memories we shape. What is left unseen whispers in quiet corners, waiting patiently beyond the beam of our gaze. Isabella, a woman of calm resilience, knows this paradox intimately. Each night, as she lies awake in the stillness of her dimly lit room, her mind swarms with fragmented thoughts and distant headlines. The buzzing social feeds, the opinions from strangers, and the moments she obsessively replays all vie for her shrinking attention. She feels pulled apart, like threads unraveling in a gust, caught between the weight of what she chooses to see and the vast unseen. Her truth wavers in the shifting light, shaped by what darts into view and what quietly recedes. Isabella's unrest is quiet yet profound, a restless search for clarity in a world of subtle distractions. Isabella's days unravel beneath the weight of choices she never intended to make. Which stories to trust, which memories to believe, which voices to hear. She senses the paradox tightening around her like a fog, obscuring paths and drowning nuances. Her relationships flicker under the influence of selective focus, colors draining from moments when she looks away. She craves a fuller picture but fears its overwhelming vastness. The fragmented reality she inhabits feels both intimate and alien, reminding her that every truth is a fragile mosaic, crafted by what she notices, yet fractured by what she overlooks. This delicate tension pulses through her, blending wonder with quiet melancholy. As days blur, Isabella confronts the unseen forces steering her vision, algorithms that sharpen some shadows while softening others, the news narratives that shape her fears and hopes, the echo chambers built by habit and habit alone. She realizes the stories she holds dear might be only one version among countless alternate realities, each silently contending for attention. This revelation both unsettles and awakens her, revealing a gallery of untold possibilities lurking just beyond her glance. But with this awakening comes a deeper unease. Where does truth reside when what we see is only a fragment, and what slips away remains forever out of focus? Isabella's inner world becomes a stage of misdirection, where certainty and doubt tumble in shadows. She grasps how the more she clings to one narrative, the more other perspectives fade, displaced like forgotten portraits in a dim hallway. The paradox is not simply about deception, but about focus's limits, how reality itself folds beneath the weight of our gaze. The harder she seeks definitive truths, the more the edges blur into mystery. Her attention feels like a restless flame, bright enough to reveal details, but never wide enough to illuminate the whole. In this dance between light and shadow, Isabella begins to understand the profound vulnerability and power held within where we choose to look. One evening, as candlelight flickers softly against worn pages of her journal, Isabella witnesses a subtle shift within herself, a moment where distance replaces the frantic search. Rather than fighting the invisible magician, she allows her attention to gently linger on the periphery, embracing uncertainty and quiet spaces. In this stillness, she senses a world usually concealed, the stories not told, emotions not named, truths too delicate for the spotlight. The paradox reveals itself anew, not as a trap, but as an invitation to widen her gaze beyond habitual focus, to rest in the softly glowing margins of perception, where deeper understanding quietly resides, patiently waiting to be discovered. Isabella comes to see her own perception as a symphony of fragmented melodies, not a single definitive note. She learns to hold multiple truths simultaneously, the seen and unseen, the confident and ambiguous. The misdirection no longer feels like loss, but like a call to openness, to curiosity beyond certainty. This acceptance frees her from the endless tug of selective attention, inviting her to trust in the richness of what lies just out of frame. In this expanded awareness, the edges of her inner world dissolve gently into possibility, and the paradox softens from a constricting shadow into a subtle echo of mystery and grace. With time, Isabella's restless gaze settles into a quiet acceptance. She no longer battles to capture every fleeting detail or to hold fixed answers. Instead, she lets her focus ebb and flow like a gentle tide, allowing certain shadows to linger and others to pass unnoticed. The paradox of misdirection becomes a companion, its challenge softened into a whisper. Clarity is not always found in the center of our attention, but often beside it, behind it, or in the spaces we rarely explore. In this tender surrender, Isabella discovers a restful truth, not pinned to certainty, but alive in the living dance between light and dark. So as you lie here now in the quiet stillness between wakefulness and sleep, invite yourself to ask, what have I missed simply because I never dared to turn my head? What truths wait patiently in the unseen corners of my attention? Still breathing, still alive, still real? The paradox of the misdirection gently reminds us that the most important things are often just beyond our gaze, hidden not by falsehood but by the limits of focus. If what you see shapes what you believe, then who or what is shaping where your eyes rest? Perhaps, in the soft shadows beyond your notice, lies the next story waiting to be told.